Let's get it. Let's Marvin Gaye.
Hey guys, we are back this week with a brand new episode, and this one's about something that we're very excited about. These are the 5 love languages, which we recently put an article about this up, right?
Yeah, so we just had an article up on the site about the 5 love languages, and it spurred so many discussions in the office and with like my friends, my family, everybody I know. I just love talking about this.
I know, it's really exciting. It's similar to just like those like personality quizzes that we've talked about before. It gives you a lot of insight into yourself and your soul. Okay, so before we dive in, we're just going to give you a quick overview of the 5 love languages. So take it away, Abigail.
Absolutely. So the first love language is words of affirmation. So that could be receiving compliments, things like that. Second one would be quality time, which is like date night, taking a trip together. Third one would be physical touch, which doesn't have to just be sexual. It could just be like, you really like holding hands or a little caress.
Right.
And the next one would be acts of service, which is like, if somebody brought you lunch in the middle of the day or maybe did fold your laundry or something.
Yeah, exactly.
And then the last one is gifts, which would be not just like, here's something.
Yeah.
But really appreciating the time and effort that goes into a gift.
Initially that one sounds kind of shallow, but really it's more about like the thought behind like
it.
If someone like shat the bed when it was on your gift when it was like your birthday, then that would really break your heart, you know? So like
not because it wasn't good, but because it meant they didn't know you behind.
Exactly. There's all this meaning behind it.
So much meaning behind it.
Right. Okay, so with that being said, let's talk about what our love languages are.
Yeah.
Abigail, you begin. I'm curious.
So, I think that I'm a little bit unique because I have a strong receiving love language.
Okay.
But it's changed recently.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So just so you guys know, when we are talking about the love languages, we're talking about the way that you want to receive love from someone. So the way that you want your partner to show you that they love you. So not necessarily the way that you're giving love. Okay, go on.
So I used to be all about the words of affirmation, love compliments, tell me great things about myself. And now as I'm getting older, now that I'm like busier and have a job and things,
right?
Acts of service are so much more important to me. Like,
interesting.
If my significant other were to be like, you look so pretty today, I'd be like, thanks, but that doesn't really help me. But if you brought me like a hot dog, I can't think of anything better.
A hot dog, people.
I mean, obviously. But, I just think that for me, if somebody is doing something to make my life easier, that is a great way to show me love.
That's a super good point. I didn't think about that, how as you got older, I feel like it would be really hard for like, a 16-year-old to appreciate acts of service the way that like a mom would, or the way that, like someone who has a house or, responsibilities beyond, just
right. Or even in college, it's all different.
Yeah.
And now as a professional adult, acts of service.
Interesting.
Bring it on. All right, Caitlin, so what about you?
Okay, mine, this is hard, but of course, like when I listen to all these, I'm like, well, I want all of them. I don't want just the one. But I think that the one that I am totally a words of affirmation person. I'm very like, I think it comes from like being a writer, and I love to read and all of those things. Like I love songs, I love lyrics, and all of those things. So for me, it's like really about someone like telling me that they love me, and like getting like, them actually having more to say than just like, love you, that's
right.
lame.
Oh yeah, who likes to be told that? The worst.
Just someone who like can like articulate their feelings is like, that is pretty important to me.
Yeah, for sure.
So that's a big one for me personally. Okay, but an interesting tidbit is that Abigail is saying that she likes to give love in a different way than she likes to receive it. So tell us about that, Abigail.
Absolutely. So like I said, I'm definitely, my favorite way to receive love is acts of service.
Yeah.
However, when giving love or showing love to somebody else, my definite go-to is physical touch.
Go on. What does that mean?
So I know basically like you see that or you hear that and you're like, that means sexual touching. That is not what it has to mean. So, for example, for me, it just means like if somebody that I love or care about is like hurting or even just has a rough day or whatever, my natural instinct is like to hug them or just people always make fun of me because whenever I am like talking to somebody, I get kind of close to them, and I'm a big arm toucher.
You're a close talker.
I'm a close talker.
Okay.
And it's just because I like that physical closeness.
That's how you're showing that you care.
And I feel like it's just a really nice physical way to show. It alarms some people.
Yeah.
But some people really like it.
That's so interesting to me because I was really surprised when Abigail told me that she gives in a different way than she receives, because what I read was that it's really common for you to give love the way that you wish that you were receiving it, because that's how you think, that's like what you hold to this place of like, when someone does this, it means they really care.
Like, that's what love is.
Yeah, exactly. So you might be giving your partner like tons of words of affirmation, and they don't give a hoot about like any of that, and they just want you to like put gas in their car so that they don't have to, or like bring you lunch in the middle of the day, because they are all about acts of service. So it's really interesting how there are all these different ones, because I am totally, I give words of affirmation.
You're
1,000,000%. Yeah, on both counts, I totally give words of affirmation.
Whereas like I love to receive acts of service, but it's never what I think to do.
That is so fascinating.
Which is selfish, probably, but some people are just different.
Yeah. And again, it's hard because I think that, it doesn't mean, I think when you're first listening to all of these, you're kind of like, again, I want all of these in my relationship. And we all do. We're all human. Like, we all care if our significant other doesn't do anything for us for, our birthday.
Right.
If they don't, like, think to get you, like, a gift or a card or acknowledge it in some way, maybe that, like, would hit you harder if your first love language is gifts. But it still would disappoint anybody. So it doesn't mean that you don't care about any of the other ones.
Right. And I mean, in any relationship, you're going to want a balance of them anyway. Like, you're going to want, everyone wants some of each of them. It's just really helpful to know about yourself and about your partner.
Yes.
Or your spouse or whoever.
Totally.
It's so helpful to know, like, what is important to them, because then you can make them feel appreciated and loved the best that you can.
All the time. And it's a really good point, because it's like when things get really busy or when you go through a rough patch, you're like, okay, well, if I don't have time to, like, have physical intimacy with my partner, but I do have time to send them a really nice text message in the middle of the day or something like that. I mean, I know that's really important to them. Then you can make sure to do that and not just neglect everything entirely. So it's kind of a cool system. It's a really interesting thing to learn about yourself.
Oh my gosh, I love it. It
gives you a lot of insight. Yeah. Okay, so another thing that Abigail brought to my attention is that you were saying that you feel that this is also relevant to your friendships.
Yes.
Which, I don't know. It's not that I don't think that, like, everyone has a language per se that they like to, like, express their love in, like, their friendships, but I just think that these are, like, I don't know. Go on. Okay. You tell me your theory.
Okay, so basically, I know that when the book was written and the whole thing was first conceptualized, it began as for romantic relationships.
Right.
Which makes sense. I am not saying that that's not true.
Yeah.
However, I think that it's so applicable to every relationship that you have in your life, every loving relationship. So, like, I know about my best friend what her love language is, and she knows mine, because anyone who's close to you and that you interact with in any kind of intimate way, like emotionally, should know your love language.
Yes, I totally agree with this. My best friend is her love language is gifts, and she's really good at them. Like, she makes a huge deal out of, like, birthdays and holidays. It's like, she is going to go to town, and just, like, every time that hers comes up, I'm like, shit, how am I going to ever, like, meet the bar, because she is, like, so amazing.
But then I think it's important that you do know that, so that you do at least attempt to hit the bar, because if you didn't know it about her, she would end up disappointed because her love language was not met.
I guess my point is that for me, I think that I, with my friends, have a different love language than my partners. Okay. I don't need words of affirmation from my friends the way that I do from, like, someone that I'm in a...
I think that's fair. It could be different.
Yeah. Like, I think from my friends, probably, like, I think acts of service and quality time would mean a lot more to me.
Yeah.
Whereas, I don't need words. I don't need my friends to compliment me or, like... say all these like really kind things.
Did I tell you how pretty you look?
Thank you, Abigail. That does feel good.
See, no, but I think they could be different.
Yeah.
I don't think it has to be the same
gotcha. Yeah.
But I just think that they're very applicable.
But we all have them.
We all have them. It could be different, but it could be the same.
Yeah, I hear you.
I think mine is the same. Anyone fold my laundry. Anyone. And I will feel loved.
And you'll take it.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
Okay, so now that you know all about our love languages, we want to hear from you.
Yeah.
So share with us, first of all, what do you think about the love languages?
Yeah. Do you buy it? Do you think that this is...
Do you even think it's a real thing?
Yeah.
Then, do you think you maybe could have different ones?
Yeah.
Do you think it does apply to friendship like I think so?
Yeah.
And what are yours? We just want to hear.
Yeah, I am just so curious. I love hearing about other people.
Right, I just want to know
everyone's. Let's tally it up and see what it's like at the end.
Sure. So, leave a comment below. Thank you so much for watching.
Yes, and we'll see you next week with a brand new episode. And in the meantime, you can check out theevergirl.com.